Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Leah Catherine, this is Leah Sees Movies, and we are back with the next episode of Young Justice. Last episode we kind of solidified our new season 3 team, although if I'm remembering the poster correctly, I do think we might need to be introduced to one more character. We got our first glimpse of Tara working with presumably the League of Shadows that is no longer run by Ra's al Ghul, who is run by a mysterious figure I'm hoping is Cheshire, because come on. Just, that'd be so cool. And I like her a lot. And when we saw her last season, she seemed like she was a fairly good mother. Like, yeah, she was kind of like, hey, take care of your kid. To, not Red Arrow clone number 1, I don't remember his name. But it seemed like she was a pretty involved parent. And now she seems to have dipped, potentially, to run the League of Shadows, which is cool. I mean, if you're going to be a career woman. We also saw Talia al Ghul and I guess baby Damian Wayne for the first time, according to your comment section. Forager and Bioship fell in love, I think, so this is the beginning of a beautiful story. And Violet, née Gabrielle, also known as Halo, and Brienne are definitely gonna fall in love, and if I'm wrong, I owe you $3. But I don't think I'm wrong. I feel like we've seen this setup before. I think I know what's coming. And according to the thumbnail for this episode, we're fighting aliens again. Which, are they Martians? Because cool. Are they new gods? I feel like that's too early to bust them out if they are indeed doing something nefarious with the assistance of the Martians to enslave the sentient bug creatures. Or is it going to be a completely new breed of aliens that's just going to be like a one-off for this episode? Although with the way this season is going, it doesn't feel like we're going to get a lot of one-off villains. It feels like everything is going to be a little bit connected to each other. So I guess we'll see. Let's get started.
Olympia.
I know that name. New Gods?
As the daughter of
Gods,
Vandal
right?
Savage, these are the things you should know.
Is she also immortal, or is she like Vandal Savage but now here just making babies?
Has known him by many names, but the truths in these pages will define him as the savior called
Vandal Savage,
Savior is strong.
incoming from space, an armada.
Looks very much like the intro of every Star Wars movie ever.
Hey, Stomp and Steve Lombard coming
Wait.
at you. The Steve
I was about to say, wait, Mount Justice is fixed, but they're just hanging out at the beach.
School in Detroit. Wide receiver Victor Stone.
Okay, Forager, I feel like you should feel some sense of kinship with crabs. It's a little rude to be trying to kill one.
Super suits. One for you, Violet.
Yay!
Sorry, Super Suit, sorry.
Also, hell yeah for her using her powers reflexively.
Yours was specially designed by fire of the Justice League, so it won't burn up from your lava. Now you won't be naked when training.
Yeah, you should be grateful for that.
What is wrong with naked? Forager is naked now. Fine. Now Forager is not naked.
He's a giant beetle. Who cares?
The fire from the sky had touched the ground not far away. It seemed to call to him, and he was compelled to follow that call.
Also, there's a great Eve when she ate from the apple of knowledge moment there. Totally cool with nudity until you're aware of it.
And the bear set upon Vandal to eat him alive. Connection established.
Uninvited guest on the way.
Anyone we know?
Unclear. An armada of warships is currently beyond the Kuiper Belt on a course.
Cassandra, have you read the part about the bear yet?
Yes.
Olympia, did you write
That was
the
my favorite
book
part.
of Vandal? Because she's super... Yeah, favorite parts are right. Because that was some level of enthusiasm. Have you gotten to my favorite chapter? Do you think John and Paul were like that about Jesus? Have you read my favorite book? Corinthians is a personal favorite. Not that it was actually written by dudes named John and Paul, but
Half the corps is
for
battling
the sake of the
range
joke.
next to us. The other half's occupied fighting our partner.
What about Clarion? Project.
We have another mysterious partner.
I protect our interests myself.
In the game of life and death, fear makes one weak.
Also, why is she hearing about her own father from, like, the Gospels?
Vandal's quest for the Skyfire gave him the power to defeat the bear.
The Revenant 2000 Whatever year that was.
The spearhead of human evolution had been forged.
Not to toot my own horn or anything.
You're quick, but mind the line.
I mean, Forager's only move is just Sonic the Hedgehogging. Hey! He pocket sanded him! Hell yeah.
This will teach Dick Grayson that Forager fights dirty.
Wow. Main character energy, Forager.
Nice. But I'm
She has issues transitioning from power to power.
learn, and falling is part of the game. But you just demonstrated more control over your auras than ever before.
I feel like she needs to be able to use them simultaneously, because right now, yeah, if she uses, like, an attack while she's flying and kills herself.
Hit me. Perhaps I only hit you by accident. But at least I'm not naked this time.
Got you covered, CK. As usual.
He's shirtless, not... He's not, like... Never mind. Very prudish on this team, I guess. Oh no, what if they see my abs?
Will suffer the war world.
Acceleration.
Olympia.
No, Vandal.
She's just having such a good time, not even looking at the iPad. Just vibing.
By the war world is to court certain death. Cassandra, have you read the part about the bear yet?
Wait, what?
Oh
Yes,
no.
Olympia, I have.
Maybe we need a new advisor. Olympia seems like maybe it's time for a home.
Death was nothing new to Vandal Savage. So he could sense when something was different about it.
Distraction.
Heart racing, he reached out to touch this gift from the stars, but was halted by intense pain. The last thing Vandal saw before surrendering was the shadowy but unmistakable form of man.
I mean, apparently that early man has very, early man features. While Vandal is like, nah, I got a modern jawline, thank you. I'm built different. Okay. Like, I have to imagine these are just androids, because they're just, like, flying into the fire.
Father, more Armada ships are heading toward Earth, from the other side of the solar system.
Someone's making a move on my planet. Someone who knows Warworld can't be in two places at once. I must rectify.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people could
Many
guess
ignorant
that.
Humans will die.
Oh, we care about not killing humans now? Because that seemed like that was your whole business.
Versus Superman. Who would win?
In Forager's time, there is a similar question.
Us versus the new
Bugs
gods.
versus new gods. Who would win?
Man and Superman. Bugs and new gods. Balance is key for both species to coexist. When one species grows stronger than another, it rarely works out well for the weaker group.
I mean, arguably, all of Krypton is stronger than one species, so.
Homo neanderthalensis was driven to extinction, while Homo sapiens survived. New species of human emerged. The first metahuman. Can we all achieve balance?
The superior species. Species? Did I say that right?
Darkseid.
I don't know what just happened.
Greetings, savage.
Oop. He's here!
To protect our investment, I require resources.
Our arrangement grants you this privilege. Send your request.
Our partnership is strengthened by your benevolence and wisdom, Darkseid.
Indeed.
My question is always like, you keep partnering with other people and then you kind of have to kiss ass. And like, yes, you're planning to betray them, sure. But can't you just be like, I want to take over Earth and maybe the, you know, Milky Way without having to
His name was
one-on-one with
Darkseid.
Darkseid? That
In
seems
our
like too
history's
much.
13th century, he came from the planet Apocalypse to claim the Earth for his
Ah,
empire.
I see.
But Vandal, known in this era as Genghis Khan, ruler of the largest empire.
Which, if Vandal is Genghis Khan, like, 3% of the world is related to him, and I was right whenever the first time he appeared.
The great Khan waged war and were easily
Vandal
defeated.
was getting it.
but not before impressing Darkseid with their unique genetic gifts.
Sire, sturdy stock for the anti-life equation.
Vandal seized the moment and made a proposition. Together, Savage and Darkseid would conquer the galaxy. Darkseid agreed, both men knowing that when the galaxy fell, Earth and Apocalypse would wage a final battle.
Okay, cool. At least they're like addressing that now, that they knew what the deal was going in, because you're both smart enough to know that.
Program cast a questionable light on your resume, ma'am.
It's a weird thing to laugh about.
Is that when you become a ma'am?
I mean, I feel like when you're part of a child trafficking metahuman experimentation, you become a ma'am. They don't want to hire me because I was part of some stuff. A little bit of war crime, a little bit. A little bit of dead children, and for some reason, they don't want to hire me.
Who says we're done trying?
I know Jeff is in a dark place, but I feel like there's gotta be other people in Hinge.
Tonight, you choose your cryptonym.
This is so serious for no reason.
Are Dick's fancy words for code name.
But you need one for our field comms to keep your identity secret from the...
I mean, Superboy isn't a great one.
Name you gave me and I like it. I'm Violet at home. I'm Halo during a mission.
From now on, call me Hot Lava.
They can't all laugh at that when they have a dude named Superboy on the team.
I'm not calling you Hot Lava.
Agreed.
Again, you're like 22 years old. Or like 6, depending on your interpretation.
Bloodline. She called it the Geoforce.
That's a bit less of a stripper name.
Says the girl named Tiger.
Ow! Miss Halo?
Thank you, Mr. Geoforce.
Ew. Look at what happens when you actually train the children. You guys couldn't have done this last season? We could have kept them. I liked them. Them here being the runaways, obviously.
Calabac, Darkseid honors us by sending his favorite son.
Watch as I prove why I am the only son who should concern you.
Sure.
The daddy issues.
Who dat? Are they just making someone blow up?
Both armadas suffer annihilation and
Wow.
still do not respond to our hail.
They just blew up a person. Oh, Starro! That's fun. We're throwing in a lot of people.
Warworld is yours to command.
They're like Vandal Savage backstory, first time Darkseid's on screen, and then possible Starro? I mean, I say possible, but there's a fucking starfish on their face, so.
Vandal, then known as the demigod hero Marduk, led his children into battle against the star creature.
Dr. Fate.
Its origin? Unknown. Its intent to enslave all.
This is basically like the Eternals in one episode.
He led his daughter Ishtar forward.
Daughter, Cassandra.
I am the Warworld. There is another ship in the darkness, holding out of range of our weapons.
That is where I must go.
You are bad at it.
This is a very odd subplot. Jefferson gets laid. Is that the whole plot? Is this the entirety of why we're seeing them? Because that's bananas.
Marduk, the demigod, and Ishtar, his daughter, raged against the star creatures. In a battle for all mankind, Marduk and Ishtar together would become known by all as the Light.
Alright.
Progress today. Mastering your own abilities and working in concert with each other.
Now, I think it's time to celebrate with some more s'mores.
S'mores? I love s'mores.
Oh! New power brought on by happiness, I guess.
That's new.
right, everyone, we're starting over.
I mean, I feel like we can still end for the day, but it's interesting to see, like, what range of emotions can we inspire in her that will just keep unlocking new powers. Also, I do want to cosplay as her, but when it's not as hot.
Cassandra, have you read the part about the bear yet?
Olivia.
No, we need to call in, like, a home aide or something.
We've been over this before.
We have?
I have long-term plans, some millennia long. They must never risk being revealed.
I mean, I don't think anyone else is reading. She's not publishing this.
Why do you like the story of the bear so much?
I hope he just snaps her neck at the end.
Before your encounter with the meteorite, before you became the savior, Vandal Savage, it defines you.
I am a fortune teller.
She died happily in your arms. I'll bring you her journal immediately, and I will make the appropriate arrangements.
She sounds upset.
Any daughter of Vandal Savage deserves a funeral worthy of the gods.
He snapped his own daughter's neck. That's crazy. Well, I guess it answers the question of do they inherit his immortality?
Waste. Life should not be wasted while it may yet be controlled to serve a greater purpose.
That was a confusing episode. Like, I feel like I liked all of the parts individually, but I don't think they, like, blended well together. I especially don't think the Jefferson and Doctor was necessary for this. Like, it's like, were you trying to pad out the runtime? Do they not think they couldn't add more Vandal Savage backstory scenes? They didn't want to do a little bit more with Starro? Like, just... And I feel like we already could tell that the Doctor and Jefferson were, like, gonna be a thing. You really could have thrown that in at, like, the beginning of an episode. Like, hey, they're on a date and move on, but we kept cutting back to them. Unless it's gonna be like, oh, she was pretending to be a good guy, but she was like a triple agent, and we're gonna like see how he falls for her, and then he's inevitably betrayed, and then maybe this is going to mean something. But for what it was, it just felt like a very odd distraction, like a C plot for a lot more important plots. And I compared it to Eternals, and it's like, just like commit to telling a story throughout time. Like, I almost would have preferred an entire flashback episode. Like, we were literally just learning the origins of Vandal Savage, the deal with Darkseid, the creation of the light, and stick to that. I mean, even the Starro stuff is like, okay, wrapped it up in half of an episode. Didn't really matter. It just gave us the means to establish his connection with Darkseid, but we already got there through the backstory, so just do that. I don't know. And then the training together was cute. They're growing on me. I like that we're actually training the children. I asked for that all season, last season, so glad we're like making forward progress on that. I really like Halo. Brion is like calmed down a lot this episode as he gets in control of his temper and his powers, and it's not taking an entire season for that change to happen, so that, you know, that's the word. It endears me to him. I was really struggling. I couldn't find it. And Forager's been great the whole time. Forager's funny, and he's cool, and I like him a lot. I feel like that's the kind of episode you want to rewatch, just to get all the little bits of lore, look at all the background characters. Obviously, we started kind of putting a name to, I think, one of the central themes of the season as we explore, like, metahumans and all that, is the kind of idea of, like, is this the next final stage of evolution? Like, we had the Neanderthals, the Homo sapiens, and now we have metahumans. Are they, the next form of evolution? Are we creating a world of metahumans and getting rid of the inferior stock? The whole Superman versus man thing is nice, but Superman is a nice reporter from, like, Kansas. If you actually went Earth and humanity versus all of Krypton, it's a much different battle. Then you're in an invincible situation, and you have, like, the Viltrumites. So, it's like, can all of us fight one nice man versus can all of us fight an entire planet of people like him? Which is a whole different conundrum. I actually think it's more interesting when you think about, like, the bugs versus the new gods. I do feel like this is kind of answer enough that the people, Malcolm, is that his name? McGann's brother are working with her, probably from Apocalypse and not the New Gods, but it's not 100% sure. The idea that there's been a long-standing conflict between the Bugs and the New Gods and them feeling subjugated and abused for resources is also there. So it could just be some old-fashioned like, hey, your good guys are imperialists. And that's not awesome. But I guess we'll see as time goes by. Freaking Bug. Yeah, I think that was a good episode. I just think it was a little tonally confusing. I didn't really... We were just going from, like, really lighthearted to, like, really serious, nigh biblical backstory of Vandal Savage, introducing a bunch of big-name villains. Ooh, look at all these connections. Look at the, you know, creation of all of these things that we've been dealing with for 3 seasons. Also, Jefferson's on a date, and it was a little odd in that respect. But 2 out of 3 plot lines I did genuinely enjoy. It just felt a little disconnected from one another. Halo is just the baddest. She has too many powers, and I don't care because she's cool and I like her. And she's happy, she's lighthearted, she's fun. I kind of... Obviously, she got a little bit of her memory back of being Danielle, and she wasn't a fan of it, but I do think your life has to really suck to not want to reclaim your own name. So, like, were there more memories than the things she saw? Does she have absolutely no one left to return to? Because even if you're like, you know what, I want to create this new name, I'm really enjoying being a superhero or whatever, the people she saw in her vision that she was running with, like, are those her friends? Does she not want to see them again? I figure we are going to explore that more because, like I was saying I want backstory, and we got a little bit of it, so I feel like we are going to dig a little deeper into it, but I'm like, give it to me now. Also, how many powers is she going to end up having? Because right now, she has healing and regeneration, flight, force fields, laser energy blast, and now holographic multiplication. 5. Is she gonna have like the full Roy G. Biv color spectrum? Because then you got red force field, orange flight, yellow energy blast, green now replication, violet healing. So we still have, I think, blue and I guess indigo, depending how you feel about that. I feel like it's gonna be the full rainbow power. Like that makes sense, right? It'd be weird if they just stopped at most of the rainbow. Also, her and Brianna flirting. That was cute. I don't know. They have, like, Trevor and Sypha energy for me, and I'm a fan of that. I'm a lot more on their team than I am for most of the romances on this show. Alright, so that is all. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, comment, etc. All those good things that make me very, very happy. If you don't want to do any of that, but you watched all the way to the end of this video, thank you. I still really appreciate you. You can follow me on the Bird app at Leah Sees Movies, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace!